Chapter 2. Cameron walked home from school every afternoon, just like he always did. He'd stare at the floor because there was nothing more interesting to stare at. The grocery store was always to his left, the restaurants on his right. He had nothing but the mundane to worry about, nothing but the sadness and loneliness. He noticed a pitter-patter of feet behind him. He noticed they were quite close. He paid them no mind and figured it was just someone else walking, enjoying the day. But when he turned on his street corner, he heard the footsteps still behind him. He didn't feel like turning back, so he just went faster. The footsteps sped up its tempo to keep up with his. He found it odd, so he started a smooth run to his house. The footsteps did not continue. In fact, they stopped. Cameron got to his house, shut the door, and looked out the windows. The new girl, named Danley, he tried to remember, was just standing shy of his house. He squinted to get a better look. Her eyes looked mesmerized in a sense, looking in the house. His house. He wouldn't stand for this. He didn't need her mocking him. He went back outside to meet her for the first time. Hello? Do you need something? Could you kindly step away from the property? Danley's cheeks flushed a bright red. I'm so sorry, she sputtered. I was just looking to introduce myself. Yeah, I'm Danley Alden. Sorry to have startled you, but I just wanted to know your name. Cameron looked at her with the same glazed eyes. That has to be the most random excuse I've ever heard. Well, started Danley, I was just looking for someone to show me around the town, and since we have classes together, I figured it'd be nice to be shown around by a peer of mine. I had to say I would really appreciate it. Really? Cameron didn't believe it for a second. This was probably a trick set up by Leanne, the class witch. He had seen them talking at lunch together. She probably put this poor girl up to stalking him. But then again, he thought, why would Leanne do that? Why would anyone pay any attention to him at all? It's not like they ever did in the past. Reaching his inevitable conclusion, Cameron approached this from a different angle. So, you're saying that you followed me to my house to ask if I would show you around? Danley took a deep breath. Well, really, I've never had much courage to talk to someone in such matter. You're kind of the first person I ask anything of so bluntly. I don't know, maybe I just find you to be the most comfortable guy to be around in such a small town like this. So what are you saying, that I'm small-townish? No, Danley replied quickly. On the contrary, you don't seem to fit into this small-town setting. You are the unique one, which is probably why I feel more prone to you. Not saying that I'm unique in any way. Sorry, I'm being blunt again. So I guess they haven't told you the stories, then, replied Cameron with a witty smile, the first he had in a long time. Stories? Danley attempted to look unknowledgeable. You know that I'm a hardened criminal, a sleazy, conceited, no-good, all-around bad guy? They haven't told you? Why should they? She asked. Because that's how word has it. I'm bad to the bone, a disgrace to society, a beast. What if I told you I don't believe that? I think they think you're as crazy as I am. He couldn't help notice the sincerity in her words. He was so used to people thinking him bad that it was a shock to hear it from someone that he was actually noticed as a person. You really don't believe those gossips? Well, no, why should I? Danley said. She saw the suffering in his eyes from all those years of taunting. I don't know you, so why should I automatically assume you're a horrible guy? Take me up on my request and I'll judge for myself, not through word of mouth. Cameron couldn't believe his ears. The fact that someone found him interesting was remarkable, but he still had his doubts. I bet you think I'm hideous, though. You don't need gossip to judge my physical appearances. Danley flushed again, not with embarrassment, but with curiosity. How can you think that? Have you lived here that long that you actually believe the gossip people spread about you? Look at yourself in the mirror. You're not at all bad looking, if I do say so myself. You look like you could be a male model, on the contrary to what people may want you to think. I find you very attractive. Oh, I'm sorry. She stopped. She was going too far. I've said too much. I've never been so rude in my life. I'm sorry. I should get going. She turned her back to walk away, but Cameron wasn't about to let the first person that wanted to talk to him in years walk off. Wait, Danielle, hold on. He caught her arm and pulled her back to him. A smile widened on his face as he saw her face blush for the third time. I accept. I'll show you around town, but please, don't let this outing be all about the scenery. Let me know about you. Tell me how you could be so kind to a complete stranger. I don't need to tell you. You've been nothing but gracious the entire time. Sorry for my effrontery. He slowly let go of her arm, which he had declined to do, fearing she would run away. Something swept through Cameron as he stared at this most magnificent girl. What was it that she was giving him? Self-confidence? Affection? Love at first sight? Minutes passed or days, neither knew. So I'll see you tomorrow then? Danielle broke the silence. It's Saturday, so we can spend all day together. Cameron came back to reality. No. Sorry, not tomorrow. I have lots to do and I wouldn't want to be wasting your time. But I can't, no. Really, I can't. How about Sunday? Sure. All right then. It's a date. Chapter 3. Saturday came and went. Danielle happily anticipated Sunday. She couldn't really shake off Cameron's rejection to Saturday, though. He seemed so willing to see her any day that it took her by surprise. Sunday came, so Danielle walked over to his house, just like she did the first time. She knocked on the door. No one answered. She knocked again after a long pause, still to find no response. Her heart sank a little in her chest when she knocked a third time to still no answer. Maybe he had gone out. Maybe he had forgotten their conversation. Feeling cheated, she started back home. The warm sunny day would have been perfect. The spring was really quite pleasant here, she thought. She kept on until she heard it, her name from a familiar voice. Danielle! Danielle, over here! Cameron was walking from the opposite way. He met her in the middle and smiled as he saw her face. I'm sorry, I wasn't home. I was busy. I just got back and I thought I'd find you here. How did you know I was here? She asked. I can just feel you. They smiled at one another, not sure what to say. So Cameron started out with, shall we? They visited the town landmarks and parks. Danielle noticed that he stayed clear of places with too many people. She begged him to go into what he called the town hangout spot, but he refused. Cameron never felt as though he belonged in there. Danielle could see this and didn't press the matter. The few people that did see them walk together had their jaws dropped open. How could the new girl possibly be seen with the town outcast, they thought? It would have to be told to every neighbor. Danielle and Cameron didn't care. They were enjoying each other's company. Cameron felt happy, the first time in years. They stopped at the park after Cameron covered all the main points of interest. Today was such a perfect day, said Danielle. I'm so glad I had good company. I don't see why we couldn't have done this yesterday. What were you so busy with? Oh, nothing really. Cameron's voice didn't sound convincing. Come on, if it's nothing, then there's no harm in telling me. Because it's none of your business. Well, sorry, I just was curious. I just wanted to get to know you like you said. Sorry, Danielle, it's just what? Just that I can't tell you. Oh, said Danielle, looking heartached. I understand. Cameron looked at her face and couldn't help but smile at her pout. Instead, I'll show you. I'll take you with me next Saturday. You do this every Saturday? Yes. It'll be nice to go with someone.